How you going, people? This is shooting here. I'll put a link to the full video. He's got some 911 in the front there, but it's a shooting that kind of. I mean, it almost looks like a suicide by cop. Woman's gonna come up here. You're gonna see a car here when it comes up, and dispatch said somebody stopped. She passed him. She was driving crazy and she wrecked. So as you pull up here, you're gonna see a few cars, and I'm gonna stop it to kind of show you kind of what's going on here. Okay, so we have these two cars who are not cops who supposedly saw this accident and saw this woman here. And I think one of the people either has her at gunpoint or says she has a gun and has ordered her to the ground. I don't know if it's a citizen. It's kind of hard to clear, but you can hear the cops as they approach. They're going to say, "Get back, get away from her." So what I don't understand is when this guy is here, if he has a gun, he's got her on the ground, she's proned out. Why is it she gets up after the cops arrives, but not when he's there? Could it be a suicide cop? I don't know. Maybe she was thinking about it this time, but whatever. But let's take a look at the cops when they get there. And after this, this video shows a panoramic view, and we're going to see this other car get the hell out of Dodge, which is a good move. So the car is obviously wrecked, twisted, rolled. She could have damages. She could have injuries. Cops normally go up to the car. They want to search the car because they have a gun. They want to make sure there's no one else in the car. Is she the only one with a gun? Was she transporting drugs? A lot of unknown here, but these cops kind of approach her what I consider to be a little reckless and carefree.
Get away from her. Suppose they have a gun. You see hands.
Okay, so he told her to get away from her, and this guy goes, supposedly she has a gun. I think that was a citizen or the witness. And, you know, the woman's moving. He's asking to see her hands.
Let me see your hands. Got a gun. Get back.
So this guy's got his hand on his gun, but he's walking up here kind of a little wide erpish. I'm just going to walk right out here in the damn open. She pulls a gun. Shit, I'll just shoot her. I mean, he's heard that she's had a gun from two different people. He doesn't have his gun out yet. If I was responding to a call and they said the person was armed, when I get out of my car, my gun's in my hand. I'm probably unsnapping it as I'm snapping my seatbelt, but my gun's in my hand. For some reason, cops now be PC. They don't want to draw their gun too early. Maybe it was just when I was working, it was different, but my gun was out 90% of the time when I contacted people because I was contacting people who I expected to run, fight, drugs, guns, etc. I wasn't stopping little old blue hairs for rolling through a stop sign like a lot of cops. Okay, so now his hand comes up and he tells her to get on the ground. His gun's out. He's got a pretty good draw. Gets it out there. Squared body. Good two-handed stance. Should I be walking? I'd want to be stable. I don't want to be shooting and walking. I'd rather keep some distance. I would rather stay closer to my car so I could get cover. This guy obviously doesn't.
Okay, get on the ground.
That's not my car. Okay, we call that a clue. First thing in my mind, of course, I worked auto theft for years, is she just stole a car. So if she stole a car, most people who steal cars use them in crimes. Transport dopes, do other crimes. So my hair on the back of my neck, my escalation level, my heart rate, everything's going up now when she yells out of her car. First of all, it's already up because there's an accident. She's on the ground. She's not acting normal. She gets up. She's not hurt. Somebody said she's got a gun. We're approaching her now. We see a gun. We're telling her to get back on the ground. She's not getting back on the ground. She's failure to comply with our orders. There's a lot of things going on here pretty quick. So now he's backing up. Now he says don't draw it and backing up. How many people think she was reaching and drawing when he was backing up? Now he's getting distance. But now he's in the oh shit factor because he's out in the open, he's got no cover, and he's far away from cover. Which is why when I approach people with guns, I'm usually pretty close to cover. I don't want to expose myself. I'm thinking if shit goes bad, I want something to jump behind. I want something to get a good stable platform so I can be shooting from a supported position instead of a two-handed position, running backwards blindly and moving and trying to shoot, because that is the most inaccurate shooting you can do. Rick, they shot her in the back. You can't shoot somebody in the back. She was running away. Everybody tells me you can't shoot people in the back. I keep telling people you can shoot people in the back. Everybody's like, you can't do it. It's against the law. Nobody wants to listen, but okay, they just shot her in the back. She fired at them, turned away, and ran. Rick, why can't they shoot on her black? Because she's still armed, she's still a threat. She already showed that she's willing to use deadly force. Deadly force is authorized. Once deadly force is authorized, you don't need to shoot somebody in the face. You don't have to warn them. You don't have to say drop the gun. You don't have to say anything. You can just shoot them. These officers could have not said a word and shot her in the back. I know people are going to be upset and come here and start hating and call me a boot, jackhammer, cop, whatever. Now those shots sounds like she was shot after she hit the ground. Was she? Let's slow these down and listen to this a little bit.
Okay, get on the ground. I see the weapon. Don't throw it. Hey, don't do
it. Okay, so looking at it slow motion, it appears that they shot her after she was on the ground. Again, the courts aren't going to see it that way. This was a, let's just do it high speed for GP here.
Get away from me. Supposed to have a gun. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
This is how fast it's going in cops' mind.
Get on the ground. Okay, get on the ground. I see the weapon. Don't throw it. Hey, don't do it.
Okay, so that's how fast that happened for the cops. Now let's look at a panoramic view of the... Okay, so if you're looking at this in the panoramic view, as they're pulling up, you see two cars right here. See this car here. We're going to go ahead and look at this.
Get away from me. Supposed to have a gun. See your hands.
So I still got it in fast speed. This cop walks up here. He's asking to show her hands. Tells him to get away. This guy's smart. This guy's like, I'm getting in my car. I'm getting away. No problem. So he gets in his car. This guy gets his gun out first. We call this a clue. If you see another officer draw his gun, you probably ought to get your gun out. I talk about the other officer coming up here. Let me slow this down to regular time here. People be complaining about, why am I fucking... So he's got his gun out. This officer's walking up with his gun, his hand in his gun, but he sees this officer with his gun out. Why isn't his gun out? If you see another officer with his gun out, get your gun out. You can figure out what happened later. But if he's got his gun out, you want to have your gun out. You don't want to be the only one there with your gun in a holster when a gunfight starts.
Get on the ground. Okay, get on the ground. I see the weapon. Don't throw it. Hey, don't do it.
So neither one of them had cover. They both move out in the open, and then when the shooting starts, they both want to go to the car for cover, and guess where their cover goes? Adios, El Caro. That's what I used to say when I tow an illegal's car. Rick, why are you? Hey, they couldn't understand English. I had to learn how to say their car was going bye-bye. Adios, El Caro. Anyway, so the car leaves. Now these guys have no cover. They're both out in the open in a gunfight with a crazy lady with a gun. What can they do? They can run or shoot. That's about their only options. So this guy completely turns around and says, I'm out of here. I got to get distance. I've got no cover because my cover left. This guy stays in a good fight, levels down, puts rounds down range. Immediately reaches for his radio to get out. Shots fired. That's a muscle memory for cops who have called for cover a lot. When shit goes down, you immediately reach for your radio. If you notice in the mouse cop video where I showed the cop being scared of the mouse, he reached for his radio instinctively. He wasn't going to call in help for the mouse, but instinctively his muscle memory went in when he got startled, and he got that startled response. He immediately got distance. He moved to the far side of the hallway, and he reached for his mic as if to call in cover, and then he kind of got his composure. It was kind of funny. A lot of y'all caught that he was reaching to call in for cover. But anyway, things happen quick. That's the way it happened. Hey, good, bad, and different. Take it for what it's worth. We'll end that there.